better we're back up to, back up to 21. And I'm still working again.
I'd like to call this meeting to order on 5/28/26. We have the pledge
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call, please.
Mary Dobbin. Councilman Hutchinson. Councilman Webb. Councilman Harkey. Councilman Green. Councilman Now.
Okay, Councilman Hutchins is in Texas, but he is connected with Alderman Mike Howell.
I think we're all connected now.
With it, yeah, we're not all, but he doesn't have a phone, he doesn't have So, is Facebook Live working?
Yes.
Did he just ask, is Facebook Live?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
Well, it's on the city website.
Okay, go to
It's
the,
okay.
it's on, you got it now. First order of business is going to be filling council seat Ward 1, Position 1. The city has only received one applicant for that seat. Council, do you have any discussion on it?
I motion we put Mr. Bancher in that spot. Second.
And he's saying he's not saying this, I don't know what, get a hold of his head. But, right now we got a motion, we got a second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Travis, if you would come forward. We'll do this and then we'll treat I, Travis Andrews, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Shoals City Council, upon which I am now about to enter. Congratulations. Need to sign? Make this all official. If you want, see, bring it over there. Now, along with that, we have a City of Bull Shoals letterhead for the City Council of the City of Bull Shoals from myself, subject organizational government body, under ACA 1443-501B, in the mayor council form of government, the mayor shall be ex officio president of the city council and shall preside at its meetings. 3, if the mayor is unable to perform the duties of office or cannot be located, 1 of the following individuals may perform all the functions of a mayor during the disability or absence of the mayor. C, an unelected employee or resident of the city if designated by the mayor and approved by the city council. It is at this time, I, Mayor Bill Spellman, would entertain a motion to approve Travis Fancher as my designee under ACA 1443-501B3C for the city of Little Shoals, Arkansas. I'll make a motion. Can I hear a second?
I'll second it, but hopefully we can get a copy of what we're ready.
Don't need one.
Why not?
Because I'm making this.
Fine.
And that's what I did ask of, it's not necessary that you didn't get it, I just read it. Like it's being done. Any, discussion on it? No discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? No. Who said no? Joey. Facebook is frozen. You voted yes.
It's working on ours.
You just voted yes. You guys get it too?
Bill, the reason why I voted no is because I think the city council needs to be included in a lot that's not, we're not getting transparency on our end. That's why I voted no.
No problem.
Make sure that is a minute.
Next thing on the agenda. We council meeting minutes from last month of 4/30/2026. Any questions on that?
Make sure you use our microphones when we're talking. They can't hear it on Facebook Live.
It's not good. Loud enough?
It's on.
Is it working now? Anything coming out of it? Nothing? Is the bottom one on? Susan? I don't see a red light.
Yeah, it's on.
You're talking about 3, 2.5, 3 on the bottom one.
all on.
Right around 2.
Yep.
That's 1. What other than that?
How much went out?
Did you push that 1 up during the parking area? That's still nothing.
Not working.
Well, I guess we'll just have to talk about her. Okay, I have a motion to accept council minutes from last month on 4/30/2026.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed?
No.
Can I ask what's wrong with them?
Sure, they're tied into our treasurer's report, which has missing parts. From what I can tell, there's a few that don't balance. We have high-end over expenditures on our budget, so that would be why I feel something this.
Next thing on the agenda is the treasurer's report. Have a motion to accept the treasurer's report. Lack of motion, we'll move on. Department reports. Have you had a chance to look over the department reports?
I'll move
On
the report.
department reports?
Yes.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Commission, Planning and Zoning Commission, they're, have a motion to accept their report or minutes.
I'll move. Councilman Hutchinson is abstaining from these if he hasn't had a chance.
Right, yeah,
So everyone knows what's going on.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Citizens' comments on agenda items only at this time.
Tim Curtis, 201 Alpha Vista. In the last 2 years, I've come up here, this is the third time now. We had our ex-mayor under indictment, we had our ex-recorder treasurer under indictment, and 3 times I've come up here and I've asked to have a forensic audit done on our finances in this city. And every time, you say, oh, we'll think about it. I think it's about time. The council needs to put a motion up and vote to have this done. Yeah, it's going to cost money, but you're going to find out where all our money is and what's been going on. It's time that you start doing it and find out what's going on in the city. Thank you.
On agenda items only. Councilman members' comments?
Yeah. I was a little alarmed when I received a phone call on Tuesday, I believe it was. A citizen was calling me to ask questions about a closed account and checks that were sent out, and I wasn't able to tell them anything because I didn't know anything about it. And as a council, we committed to being able to know where our money is, how it's being handled, and what's going on with it. And I understand this has happened, but a simple email from all of us explaining the situation and how it was then mitigated would be really helpful to us, because what ended up happening since Tuesday is I received several of those phone calls, and the story has telephoned into some wild stuff that I just like, this all could have been fixed. I just don't understand why everything is so hush-hush and we're not being told what we need to be told, the finances of the city. It's kind of unreal. And then this was here waiting for us when we get here. It looks like 121 citizens put together a petition asking for requesting either treasurer's resignation or removal proceedings. And this is now marking the third time that I've had to dig around and get third-party info. I'm inclined to say that's probably looking like a good idea now. So at this point, I motion for a vote of no confidence for the treasurer's position, which is more of a gesture than it really does anything, but it does start proceedings on what we need to do to finally get our finances in check.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion on the floor, we have a second.
I have a question.
Any discussion on it?
Yeah, what is the vote of no confidence mean?
A vote of no confidence basically says as a council, we recognize that we have serious issues within our treasury department, and there's been a pattern of serious issues that continues to happen, and also a pattern of not telling the council in a responsible manner of what's going on with our city finances.
My question to you folks is, why haven't you come in to City Hall and asked those questions that you're being asked out there on?
My question is, why wouldn't you tell us about this beforehand? Why did this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know anything about closed accounts and checks that were sent out?
No, I don't.
That's weird.
Explain that to me.
I was told you left City Hall early last week because you were so angry about it.
Explain it to me. I've been sick for the last 5 days, so explain it to me.
I don't really need to explain anything further. We had a lot of citizens that are worried about the state of our
Less than 10%.
Hey.
of the population.
Well, I represent that less than 10% as well. So my motion stands. Joey seconded.
Any more discussion?
What is this about?
Or removal of the treasurer. My
Well,
question is, who are you gonna have to replace
How about
this treasurer?
CPA?
Who are you gonna get? What's the name?
Quit yelling at me first and foremost.
All right?
Quit yelling at me. We're not going to do that tonight.
I'm doing it because they can't hear us.
Yeah, so what I just did was a motion of gesture for the council to recognize that we have an issue instead of tickling around it every week. That's all this is, it's not a removal. This petition from citizens is requesting that. I am not in this vote.
We still have a motion on the floor, seconded. Any more discussion?
And Travis, to answer your question, this relates back to the IRS payments. Do you have one of these?
No, it's not.
Go ahead and read that middle section there, and that corresponds to what this motion would be about.
That's not good.
They call for an all in favor of that.
I don't want to say this is something, so, yeah, I mean, that's what you want.
Any more discussion? Bring it to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
So, this question, so what happened next, right?
That was a great time to clear it up, because several of the people who called me are sitting in the room, I'm sure they would like to say, you know, what happened.
Questions from others?
It doesn't sound all that complicated.
Yeah. Council, what's the next step we need to take?
No, I mean, no to accountants doesn't necessarily mean that it's not doing anything, but you have a record that that is the case, and it's the opinion of the council. Do you want to take it further, do you want to move on that, then you've already taken the first step, basically. But in and of itself doesn't necessarily function as anything aside from the signature of the person responsible. So, at that point, feel bad about it, and correct ourselves, really answer.
My biggest thing is, where we want to go with filling that position.
First, it would be my opinion that we find a qualified CPA with large business scale management or municipality experience to start to look over what's been going on, because it's been a year and a half now, and we're still fighting the same things we were fighting when we stepped into this position. So we need to bring in another set of audits with training. I'm not claiming to have the answer. All I know is there's professionals that need.
Do you want to look into that then, council?
Sure. Get some video on the road. People need to use that.
I want to bring out to answer your question is that we have been doing audits, okay? We have charges being brought on someone that's taking money from us, okay? We are trying to get our audit done by Ballard and Associates. They are still working on the 2023 for the water sewer department. The person that is doing that, okay, is sick and hasn't been able to complete it, okay? I've contacted the state and advised them of the predicament that we had fallen into with Ballard and Associates. They also have our 2024 water sewer records. We have evidence right now of money that was taken out of that water department, okay, illegally, but we can't have anything done until the audit is done for 2024. So we are looking into all these things, and, for a forensic audit, I have to have the audit done before I can have the state police do their investigation on it.
And you do a 25 too?
Yeah, they still have 25. We checked into having another company. The closest one we found was down south of Little Rock, and they want $26,000 for a year to do that off. So, it's going to cost us money if we go that way. Right now, we're just paying $2,750 per water and $2,750 for water for the audits for each year.
Is there any timeline you expect it to be done?
The state expects it to be done the year after. Okay.
That's water and sewer only.
Right, that's water and sewer. My hands are tied, okay, because I can't do the actual investigation, criminal investigation, until the audits are done on the water sewer. And that's what we're sitting at right now. All right, we're definitely going to look into seeing what we need to do as far as, getting another CPA that, I wish, Tracy, I wish you would come on board and help us out. It seems like you seem to know a lot about it.
I think that phase of asking for volunteer help.
I'm not saying volunteer help. I mean, we'll hire her out. Let's move on to old business. Next thing on the agenda is purchase remote sewer camera using money from our depreciation fund. Right now, even though we want to get that camera for those transmission lines, Mike Steltein, who's the supervisor of the sewer department, said he's got over 200 manholes he can inspect right now. The camera costs around $22,000.
Haven't we in the past always asked help from our phones for cameras?
Their camera's down, been down for the last 4 months.
Make a motion to purchase the camera.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
I think the camera is vital to easing our issues with ADQ concerning our infrastructure issues leading to our water treatment plant. So if this expedites the process and we can start to put together a spreadsheet of all our stuff that we're able to show them that we are doing the right thing, I think that's vital. I'm not sure about the cost, but
Is it new? Is it new?
Yes.
Okay.
It comes with a 500-foot cable. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Do we have our case dealer here?
yeah, I'm here.
Good evening, council. Y'all really know how to set a guy up for exciting times. I have a folder here. Basically, I have a lease proposal for you guys for the city of Shoals. First of all, please let me say a few things. One, I live across the lake. I live on River Road. I'm not some far off guy, right? We shop here at Harps. We live here. I am willing to do and find and do whatever I can do to help the city out because you're on. So, yes, I'm selling. Yes, all of that. But I live here and I love this area. So, in here I have these proposals. Each of you can look over. I have prepared attachments. You can see the attachment list that goes on and Mr. Mayor, I'm going to keep here because I have most information that I can answer some questions. I'm not sure I don't have any left. About 6 was enough. So what we're looking at is the same wheeled excavator, where it is a case unit. It's a wheeled excavator. So what this thing does is take the place of your John Deere. It takes the place of one of your backhoes. It'll probably take the place of your second backhoe. This thing is roadworthy. It'll go up to 24 miles an hour. And if I were you, I was talking to Merle today. If I were you, I would look at this as an investment because what's going to happen with this is the city of Mount Holmes is going to call, the city of Lakeview is going to call, the city of Clifton is going to call, and the city of Clifton is going to. So you will be able to outsource your services and your expertise in operating this machine. Well, it's possible. Honestly, for you guys, this machine, you're going to have a mulcher on it. So what that mulcher is going to do is going to clean your easements. It'll knock down all the tall grass, it'll mulch up the limbs. You can put it on the ground and mulch around, clearing your easements from the grass to trees, essentially. Limbs. The unit will reach 31 foot above head, so you can get, with your mulcher, you can get 3 foot on top of that. So you'll be about 33 foot up in the air to mulch limbs on your easements, all the way down to the ground. You can mulch down the stumps, if the stumps are not. So your buckets that you're getting, or the buckets that were proposed to get, we've got different sizes in there for different trenching capabilities. If you're digging out sewer lines, you're gonna need a pretty big trench to do that out. Trenching doesn't work. We've got buckets from 36 to 18 inches. If you're just digging out a water line down the road, we don't need to go that line. So we have that in there. And we also have the ditch bucket, which is an articulated bucket that goes basically 90 degrees either way. That's going to allow you to clean up your ditch banks. It's going to allow you to make your ditches deeper. That bucket will come in handy with pushing back and smoothing out the work area when you're done as well. It's a smooth bucket. If any operator has any wits about them, they know how to use a bucket. You can even get ready with that bucket. So if you're doing projects in the future, that smooth bucket is going to be a whole lot more handy than you think. This machine has a thumb on it, so when you're digging in your deep sewer lines, you can pick your thumb up, or pick your thumb up. Not pick your thumb up. You can pick your sewer line up, spring it out, replace it, put the new one in. Down trees, down limbs, we do have ice storms. I've been here for a couple of them already. This thing, if you don't have the mulcher on, you've got power lines down, you've got trees over the road, you can literally drive this on the road, pick your trees up, set them to the side, and drive through. So having that thumb on this machine is a definite plus. The capabilities of this thing are really, I hate to say, I'm not a snake oil salesman, but the capabilities are endless. If you have somebody in the machine that understands how to operate. On that lease proposal, you'll see, do I need to use this? Can y'all hear me? Can Facebook hear me? On the lease proposal, you'll see this is a $1 buyout option. So you'll lease this machine for 5 years. You're trading in your John Deere and backhoe, your older backhoe. Or that's what's proposed. Your $1 buyout option, you can see the prices there. The price in the right-hand column is with the 5-year warranty. That costs like $4, so you're completely fully covered for the entire year of the lease. Price in the left hand, which is only $50 cheaper, is with the standard year. Any questions? I'm sure that you have a lot.
Do you have a picture of it?
Well, I knew that question was coming. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I do. And so I'm going to make one of these. Yeah. So this is what the excavator will look like. And this is a brochure that has, and I'll leave this with you guys. So your guys, the one that we're talking about right now, has 4 operators. So it has an operator on each corner. Around here, that's going to be very, very comfortable.
Last time we spoke, there was talk of using the cost of this or trading of some of our other machinery. Is that still on the table?
It is, and you will see that trade in allowance. Yes, correct. We are doing that.
So there's our else we have the same page.
Yeah.
Cost for option 1 would be $317,000 and some change, and option 2 would be $321,000 and some change.
Great time to talk about this.
Anybody infrastructure is better? How much is the yearly lease?
It's about $3,500 to $3,500. Yes, it is. The big thing is here you have the $1 buyout. So at the end of
5 years.
At the end of 5 years for $1, you own the machine.
The city would own it. But
Yes,
it
sir.
would- basically it would cost $35,000 to rent it, and it would still be under warranty, though, and everything else.
Correct. That is correct.
Okay.
who will drive it? Who will, because don't you have to know what you're doing?
So any excavator operator, or usually backhoe operators, can operate this machine. We will do some delivery training for the operators. This machine has some really awesome features for the mulcher head. So a mulcher head, if you don't know, is about 3 to 4 foot wide. It's got big teeth on it, and it just eats trees. Like it just goes really fast. So you like the animation? So what this thing does, it has buttons for the operator. So if somebody new gets in it, they can go on the screen and push, I'm running the mulcher today. They'll push it, and all of the computer will tell the hydraulics that this is what needs to happen for this machine to run that mulcher. So a lot of the guesswork in operating this machine is taken out. We have profiles, so if you're only using the tilt bucket, it works out correctly. It has cameras all the way around it, so you don't have to worry about hopefully people backing into things. But operating it, if anybody can operate a skid steer or backhoe, which I know you have guys that can, they can operate this machine. It just looks a little different because you can drive it on the road. So it's kind of funny.
Is this over hardware?
That is included. That is included in that price. That's just a breakout of the attachments that we have in the control.
So is this 2024?
It's a 2025 built at 2023. But it's a brand new unit, which is really great because we don't have repairs on that.
What department does that come out of?
Should come out of street, water, and sewer. So I assume the finance lease, that line item got to, is that what we pay if we buy it, right? Where you at, the 280, 287?
Yes. Actually, so that's a finance, so that has your percentage here. Cash price for this is going to be around $2.
And extra warranty looks like it's $2,800.
Yes. It's money. Does that make sense?
That's $2,800 a month. For PPP? I said PPP.
I think it gives you one. It's correct. It's not $2,800. That cost is a $2,800 cost that's amortized in your payment for it. So if you look at that's where the extra $100 can be. I think you want to know that if you're going to
So what's the PPP?
It's what we call a warranty. It's
not warranty on the warranty at all.
The warranty that comes on the machine, yes, what we do is a three-year warranty. The PPP covers it after that is expired. It covers
The additional 2 years is what costs us $2,800.
correct. Yeah. And the PPP, I have you on the premium. That will cover travel time for our service director, or if something goes wrong, cover that travel time, so you're not going to get billed back for that. And it'll cover the parts.
Does the atonement servicing include?
It does for the PPP.
They got to throw it in the coach and grade.
My question.
There's no free lunch.
We had talked about, interest rate being somewhere between 4 and 6, and it looks like you took it to the max. your guys put it to the max of 6.85.
Yes, sir.
Any wiggle room here to bring that back down to where, we're looking around 4%?
All I can do is check. Unfortunately, I do not go to the finance side. I kind of have to present what I do. But I can ask them if they're doing it. One of the things that's really unique about a case lease is if something happens and you guys don't have a budget, something drastic happens and the budget gets, you don't have a budget for next year. Case will buy that machine. But have to prove, obviously, not that you have a budget for your monthly payment, that your budget has gone plus. The city has gone plus. And I don't know what that's.
But the problem I'm seeing, okay, is the advance, that's gonna be the trade-in, correct, 106.5?
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, our John Deere, I feel, is worth 120 for the lease, and 24 for the backhoe. We're not even close to that.
Yes, sir. I understand that. And I don't necessarily argue that your unit is worth it. I don't argue that one at all. I can't promise my company that we will do that. It's a different market. That is a specific market. And you've got a great unit. I look at it. It's a great unit. But that's where we are, and that's how much we're willing to invest in it.
Okay, what would happen if we postpone this deal till we're selling down here and eventually cash?
We,
Numbers, correct?
yes, sir, if interest rates don't move.
I understand.
Understanding that.
I don't think the amount of money we borrow will be lower, you think
Yes.
it's rate remain where it is.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Now, what we do not know is how long it might take to sell our unit. Merle, do you have any clue on that? It looks like we could save $20,000-$30,000 by doing that.
If we put it, it'll take at least 30 days to get it on the auction site, and then usually takes 3 to 4 weeks on the ball.
Okay, so you're not here in 60 days?
Within 60 days, yeah, it will be closed.
Okay, so if we were to approach it this way, say, hey, here's your offer, maybe change the numbers on it by trying to sell our equipment, we can get more money to do it that way than taking your trade, which means we borrow less money.
Yes.
It should reduce our payment.
Yes, sir. 100%.
I would be in favor of doing something like that, rather than just take this deal as it is.
And would there be negotiating on the interest rate?
I will go back in the morning and see if I can do it.
I didn't see the deal for cities.
It's on there. I promise you. It's on there. This machine, and it's kind of, on this sheet here, which is, it says case at the top, gray and brown, three colors. The total price of this machine, that's just being built is right, that's the list price. So you're looking at that price without $70,000 worth of tax.
Well, I have a question.
So your discount.
I have a question on the price on your unit.
Yes, sir.
I understand. I had concerns with the disparity between what our equipment's worth and what we're being offered.
Yes, sir.
That's gonna cost us money over the term of the lease. So, from what Merle's telling me, he thinks we can sell that stuff, let's say 60, 90 days, maybe 90 days.
Oh, 60 days.
So So I guess what we're doing, you and Bill work out what he's concerned about, get the numbers down where they need to be, give us some numbers. Meantime, we'll try to come up with numbers on our equipment and then work into the final deal. Does that sound like a decent approach?
Definitely, sounds like one.
I mean, I know the rest of the council will have to.
I agree with Councilman Webb. I'd like to see some money coming in before we put it with the.
Well, why don't we say come back in 90 days, we should have some numbers. And if we get them sooner, we'll call you. How's
Sure.
that?
Yes, sir. I'd be happy to do that.
So we'll just tell Merle, hurry up and
Get on it, Merle.
So you're making a motion to
yeah, I'll make
table
the
this?
motion to table it for, till we sell our equipment, how's that?
I second. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay.
I've got it. Let's go ahead. If you have one over there, get that over to.
Yes, sir. I certainly do.
Rule or whatever.
Yes, sir. Photographs always help. I know. I should have done better. Can I email you a link? Can you forward that to everybody? And online link to this meeting? So you guys can see and read about it to everybody.
He won't ever get it, he doesn't have.
I will print some pictures out. Mr. Mayor, I'm going to leave this has obviously the schematics, the same thing that they're looking at, and then it has your government.
Okay. Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, sir.
And I see where we're going with the deal, so the numbers don't come down. Whatever else occurs, I've got some stuff on it, I've got wrong, halfway through. And the studies don't come. I like the lease, I think that's a smart way to do it.
I will. I'll do that. Thank you. Thank you, Council.
Okay, next thing is on new business, resolution 2026 R-10, adopting new city flag and logo. It's a resolution to repeal and replace resolution number 2024-24 with resolution 2026 R-10 for a Old Shoals city flag and city logo. Whereas the city of Old Shoals, Marion County, Arkansas, seeks to establish a new official city flag and city logo, and whereas the city council recognizes the importance of community involvement in creating a symbol that represents the city's identity and values, and whereas the city flag serves as an important civic symbol along with a city logo and should accurately represent all citizens and activities of the city. And whereas the city council has consulted with their area of representation and have chosen the flag that will be displayed by City of Old Shoals at their city flag along with the city logo. Now therefore be it resolved by the city council of the city of Old Shoals, Marion County, Arkansas, that Exhibit A attached will be the new city flag for the city of Old Shoals along with the approved design for the city of Old Shoals logo. I'll entertain a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All in the says yes. The new city flag, see that one right over there. Next thing on the agenda is amendment to ordinance 2025-14, adding in section 1-8, or not dash, 1.A.6, and amendment to ordinance 2025-12, dealing with clean premises with emergency clause. whereas for the health, safety, and well-being of the citizens of the city of Old Shoals, it is the utmost urgency to adopt this amendment to this ordinance, giving the city the ability to maintain enforcement of clean premises. And whereas for the safety of vehicle traffic and pedestrians, an emergency is declared to exist. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Old Shoals, Marion County, Arkansas, and the following amendment to Section 1, clean premises, Paragraph A, 6. It will be unlawful to discharge mower clippings onto any city, county, or state roadway. Emergency clause. This amendment to ordinance 2025-12 being necessary to continue the operation of the city of Old Shoals, Marion County, Arkansas, and of compliance with the laws of the state of Arkansas, and to preserve the public peace, safety, and welfare. An emergency is hereby declared, and this amendment shall be enforced in effect upon the date of its passage and approval. Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion?
I got something, does this include city workers that mow right ways?
That includes everybody.
On this, because I know somebody will say something about it.
Obviously. But I mean, it's gonna be something that, what happened is, they didn't go back and clean it up. They didn't go back and, blow it off.
Right.
And it was intentional. So, this is to avoid that. There was a loophole that they found in our clean premises ordinance. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Alderman Hutchinson votes yes, please. Next on the agenda is ordinance 2026-06, an ordinance repealing and replacing ordinance number 2025-14, separating the offices of recorder and treasurer for a city of the second class, providing for the recorder to remain an elected position and the treasurer to be an appointed position pursuant to ACA 1444-115B1 and for other purposes. Whereas the city of Old Shoals currently maintains separate offices of city recorder and city treasurer, and whereas the offices of city recorder and city treasurer were previously combined under ordinance number 2025-14, and whereas Arkansas Code annotated 1444-115B1 authorizes the city council of a city of the second class to separate the offices of city recorder and city treasurer, and whereas the city council of the city of Old Shoals desires to separate the offices of city recorder and city treasurer, and whereas the office of city recorder shall remain an elected office, and the office of city treasurer shall be an appointed position filled by a 2/3 vote of the city council, which such appointment coinciding with the 4-year term of the elected recorder. Now, therefore, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Old Shoals, Marion County, Arkansas, Section 1, separation of offices. The offices of City Recorder and City Treasurer are hereby separated. The office of City Recorder shall remain an elected official position, and the office of City Treasurer shall be an appointed official position, filled by a 2/3 vote of the City Council. Section 2, terms of office. The elected office of Recorder and the appointed office of Treasurer shall coincide during the Recorder's 4-year term of office. The qualified voters of Old Shoals shall elect a Recorder, and the City Council by a 2/3 vote shall appoint a City Treasurer to serve a 4-year term on the same schedule established by the election of the office of Recorder for cities of the second class pursuant to Arkansas Code annotated 14-44-115A. Section 3, compensation. Salaries of the elected recorder and appointed treasurer shall be established by the Bull Shoals City Council in accordance with Arkansas Code annotated 14-42-113. Section 4, duties. The elected recorder and appointed treasurer shall be responsible for all statutory duties required of the offices of recorder and treasurer under Arkansas law, together with any additional duties assigned by ordinance of the Bull Shoals City Council. Section 5, appointment and removal of treasurer. The City Council of the City of Bull Shoals shall have the authority to appoint or remove the city treasurer by a 2/3 vote through adoption of a city resolution. Section 6, severability. If any provision of this ordinance is held to be invalid, illegal, or unenforceable under any applicable law or rule in any jurisdiction, such invalidity, illegality, or unenforceability shall not affect any other provisions of this ordinance or the validity or enforceability of such provision in any other jurisdiction. The remaining provisions of this ordinance shall remain in full force and effect. Section 7, repealer. All ordinances or parts of ordinances previously adopted that conflict with the provisions of this ordinance number 2026-06 are hereby repealed. Section 8, emergency clause. Whereas the offices of elected recorder and appointed treasurer in the City of Bull Shoals are presently filled, and whereas the city recognizes the immediate need to separate the office of recorder from the office of treasurer to ensure that the financial needs of the city are properly managed, data expenditure of tax-derived funds are correctly accounted for, and that the financial obligations of the city are properly fulfilled. Therefore, the city council, upon a separate vote of 2/3 of the members elected to the city council of Bull Shoals, hereby determines that the immediate enactment of this ordinance is necessary for the preservation of the public peace, health, and welfare of the residents of Bull Shoals, and an emergency is therefore declared to exist. Accordingly, this ordinance shall take effect immediately upon passage and approval. The city council shall have the authority by 2/3 vote to appoint or remove a qualified city treasurer for the city of Bull Shoals to serve for the remainder of the current elected recorder's unexpired term. I have a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I don't know who you put it in, but I'll second it, somebody else got the first.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Alderman Hutchins votes yes. I have a motion to suspend the rules to read by title only, second and third time.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Second reading, ordinance number 2026-06, an ordinance repealing and replacing ordinance number 2025-14, separating the offices of recorder and treasurer for a city of the second class, providing for the recorder to remain an elected position and the treasurer to be an appointed position pursuant to ACA 1444-115B1 and for other purposes. Have a motion to accept.
Make motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Alderman Hutchinson says yes. Third reading, ordinance number 2026-06, an ordinance repealing and replacing ordinance number 2025-14, separating the offices and recorder and treasurer for a city of the second class, provided for the recorder to remain an elected position and the treasurer to be an appointed position pursuant to ACA annotated 1444-115B1 and for other purposes. Have a motion to accept.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Kevin Hutchins says yes again. Can I, get a motion to suspend the rules to go back to an amended ordinance that we made for the motion?
Second.
All those in favor? This is for, the emergency clause, my mistake. We can have a second and third reading on it for the, clean premises. I had a motion to suspend the rules, to read the second and third, by title only.
Right.
All those in favor? Second reading, an amendment to ordinance 2025-12 dealing with clean premises with emergency clause. Have a motion to accept?
Second.
All those in favor? Third reading, an amendment to ordinance 2025-12 dealing with clean premises with emergency clause. Have a motion to accept?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? No discussion? All those in favor? We had brought up the workshop, sick time. Have you guys come up with anything that we could possibly do or we want to discuss?
I thought we were going to be presented. I thought we had talked about possibly a short system like what Jody has to do, or right on record.
What are we trying to keep?
What's happening is we're basically getting abused by some of our employees on sick time. They receive 8 hours per month for sick time. But a lot of the days they're sick on a Friday or a Monday. It might be, maybe a bad weekend or something. But, according to Arkansas state law, we're not even required to give sick time, okay? It is a benefit that we're trying to give our employees. But it's come to the point where it seems like we're getting abused by it now.
Have we checked with any other cities to see what they're doing?
I thought that's what you guys do.
Well, nobody wants to know how to do it.
I have a question, so, yeah, 20 days of working and one day afternoon, you get 1 day off a month, hey,
Right,
if they call them sick.
right. You get 12 days a year, sick time.
So, are we worried about the sick time or are we worried about employment?
I think we're worried about them abusing it.
If we're worried about employment abusing it, are we taking down, hey, look, you called in the last 3 Fridays or the last 3 you've taken X amount of Fridays off and the coach then explain to them that's not acceptable for.
I believe we have.
Yes, we have.
Okay, so one of them, I deal with this in my current role. One of the things that I do currently is it has a habit or a performance habit that after 3 events, after coaching that person, that's after termination, and by Arkansas state law, you can do that as well. But it has to be proper. And the proper way to go about that. 8 days a year for sick time, that's 5 days. Well, I mean, I've never worked anywhere that you got 12 days of sick time. Is there, so it's just if you work for 8, do they have to work their full 8 hours?
That's what we're trying to say. What do we need to do to put in our personnel manual? Is it that, if you make it full month without using a sick day, then you get your 8 hours?
I think we did.
No. There's a lot of variables.
What does it say current?
Huh?
What does it say current? What's our current policy? Yeah, what's the current policy?
They just get 8 hours per week.
You get emails from whether they're here or not.
Do they get it at the beginning of the month or the end of the month? And you can carry that over.
You can carry it over, yes.
But at the end of the year, you can carry over 60 hours.
So like you save up a week, and if you get sick, you take 3 days of it. So you pay, what, 24 hours, but you still have 2 days left, so that just keeps building.
I think we need to run a point system, like, I work at 3 and we used to do the point system, and I think we use the point system. And if you take a sick day, that day don't come off until a year later, on that same day, you'll earn that day back.
And see, we have to, if I call in sick tomorrow, I get a point. If I'm off 3 days, I gotta bring it off. And I'm only charged 1 point for the 3 days.
Certainly, I'd like to see an option.
Can you bring that in, what you got, and,
Yeah, I can get it.
that way we can, come up with it, I can get it to you guys, you can look it over and see what options we're gonna try to do here.
Do we know what other cities are doing?
I'll check into that too.
I think here's the concern we've got, we seem to have a problem with hiring people.
No, we have a problem keeping people.
Well, if we're not competitive or if we're overly generous with the other cities around here, I kind of think that's something we need to look at.
The municipal league has, I believe, finished up or getting ready to finish up all the cities that submitted what their benefits are and wage salaries, positions and all that. I'll look at that too and where we compare with
Get all this
cities that are our
information and
size.
then we'll look at it, come out with what we want to do.
Citizens' comments.
Good evening. James Bucci, member 2 Locust Avenue. I'll talk as loud as I can because it's my city. I came before the council tonight to address the March 29th council meeting that was inconsistent with the rules of this body adopted for itself. Ordinance 2026-01, Section 5, Paragraph 1 requires that the council deliberation follows the procedural rules for municipal officials published by the Arkansas Municipal League. By your own vote, those rules bind every member. They require that the debate be personal, restricted, and measured under consideration and addressed to the chair, not directed to individual citizens. On March 26, Councilmember Bowling rose from the dais with a list of citizens who had submitted FOIA requests and called them out by name and by company. My name was on that list. My wife's name was on that list. Filing a FOIA request is a right guaranteed to all Arkansas citizens. It was not measured before the council, and citizens named had no chance to respond. That is precisely the conduct these rules were written to prevent. To his credit, Councilman Michael, and I appreciate it, challenged Mr. Bowling afterwards and defended the citizens' rights for FOIA. I thank him for that. But no one raised a point of order in the moment. And it could have stopped what was happening. The only point of order that night came from an audience member, and it was raised against me, not against the council member who had named me. I must also address Mr. Mayor's May 4th letter to the Arkansas Ethics Commission. The mayor wrote that Mr. Bolin was calm and civil, and that I did start to attack verbally towards the council. Let me be clear, I did not attack the council. The transcript and recording will confirm that. I came to the podium only after my name and my wife's name had been read aloud from the dais. I addressed Mr. Bolin by name, asked him a direct question, told him what he had done was wrong. I raised my voice as anyone whose family had just been named in public would. I did not curse, threaten, or insult anyone. Disagreements are not attacks. For the mayor to describe me that the state regulatory agency as having verbally attacked the council while describing a council member who named the private citizens as common and civil is inexcusable. It is not true. It was put in writing to the Arkansas Ethics Commission, and it reverse caused the effect. I will not let it stand uncorrected. The mayor also leaned on the Ethics Commission electronic ruling, but the ruling answered a narrow question of ethics law, not whether the council primarily rules were followed. I want to speak directly to every council member. The mayor presides. He does not rule. Each of you holds the same authority as he does. Two of you had served before under prior councils, and you, of all people, should have recognized what was happening on March 26th. The rest of you swore an oath to uphold the ordinance. Following the mayor's lead is not a defense. The ordinance you are bound by is not the mayor's. It is the council. And the people you answer to are not the mayor's chair. They are the seats behind you. I ask three things. First, that the mayor commit on the record to enforcing rules of decorum evenly against council members and public alike. Second,
You're not going to do that, you're over 3 minutes, you're at 4 minutes and 1 second.
Mr. Mayor, one thing, Mr. Hutchinson said in a meeting to Mike Salza from Bel Arco that they never cut people off at 3 minutes.
Let him talk, Bill.
I'm going to.
All right, thank you, I appreciate it very much. Let's see, what was it? Against council members and public alike. Second, that every member of the council acknowledge their responsibility to raise a point of order when a fellow member crosses the line, and that the silence on March 26 will not be repeated. Third, that the mayor submit a corrected statement to the Arkansas Ethics Commission accurately describing what occurred on March 26. I'm not asking for punishment, I'm asking for consistency. Just consistency. The same rules that govern me at the podium should also govern each of you in the dais. I thank you respectfully, James Cucci. I will email all of you a copy of this. I do have a hard copy for you, Mr. Webb, because I know you don't have an email. And if anybody else wants a copy, I do have a couple extra. I thank you for your time.
Any more citizens' comments?
Jessica Wilkinson, 145 Golf Course Terrace. I'm just here, I just wanted to let everybody know that we are revamping the police auxiliary. I will be sending out mailers in the next 2 weeks for membership and for volunteers. So if anybody's interested, let me know, and it's a good thing. I guess I'll just speak loudly. My name is Tracy Coffey, 231 Woodstone, Shoals, and I'm here tonight because of the issues that Mr. Cucci alluded to regarding the FOIA requests.
This administration claims transparency, it claims accuracy in budgeting, but the moment a citizen tries to verify those claims, the truth becomes clear. The transparency is performative and the accuracy is questionable. The mayor has labeled my FOIA request as harassment. That is not only false, it is an abuse of authority. Filing a FOIA request is my legal right. It's guaranteed to every Arkansas citizen under the law. But when the mayor calls that harassment, he's not describing my actions. He's attempting to intimidate the public out of exercising their rights. That's a misuse of office and it is dangerous. Former Councilman Mullen then used his position to personally attack me and others who filed those requests. His comments were inappropriate, unprofessional, and clearly intended to silence a citizen. And the mayor allowed it. He did not gavel it down, he did not intervene, he allowed an elected official to attack a resident for seeking public records. That's a failure of leadership and a violation of the basic duty to maintain order and protect the public's right to participate. And then there's the issue of requesting those records. The custodian of those records, Ms. Reynolds, has failed repeatedly to provide FOIA responses that are either timely, accurate, or complete. And this is not a clerical issue. This is a violation of state laws. Arkansas FOIA requires records to be provided promptly, no later than 3 business days, and I have received responses that were late, incomplete, or just wrong, the response to the wrong FOIA. That's not transparency, that is obstruction. These failures are all part of the larger pattern. Inaccurate treasurer's reports, incorrect related state and federal withholding filings, and revenue and expenditure sheets that do not balance. These are fundamental responsibilities of that office, and they're not being met. So tonight I'm asking this council to take some action. First, I would like you all to publicly affirm that FOIA requests are a lawful right and will not be smeared as harassment by any city official. Two, I'd like you all to establish and enforce a clear rule that personal attacks on citizens are out of order and will be immediately stopped by the presiding officer. And last, I ask again, as I have in the past, that you remove the treasurer from office for continued failures create even more financial and legal risk for this city. Citizens should not have to fear retaliation for asking the government to follow the law. If this council truly believes in transparency, accountability, and responsible government, then it's time to prove it. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Kramer. I hope we got some good skin. Anyway, I really want to thank y'all for, on that new piece of equipment, looking at a new piece of equipment with a warranty instead of buying something used. I've been living in this town for 52 years. That's what they did for a long time and everything else, and it just keeps adding more and more problems. So I started updating everything and getting stuff that's got warranties with it and everything else so that they can do the job, get it done right, and help out this city. And I do love this city, even though I come up here and complain a little bit every now and then. I love the city. I've been here 52 years. I plan on being here till the day I die. Thank you.
Ken Bobby, you do we were talking about hiring a CPA or something, that sort of thing. The treasurer under Arkansas Municipal Accounting Law is responsible for, the face of it, a treasurer regards the treasurer and for maintaining financial records. By law, Arkansas Municipal law. I would suggest that in the presence of a series of financial statements that do not balance, that is, fund beginning plus revenue plus expenditures, do not equal ending fund balance as presented on a series of months of financial reports that indicate that there is a failure to maintain those financial records. Also say, for your consideration, that The treasurer is responsible for maintaining the financial record. Treasurer is not necessarily charged with preparing the financial record. The treasurer is meant to make sure that any disbursements are legally made and do not come from places where they're not supposed to come. The possibility is that the treasurer, as you employ or otherwise get to volunteer for the job, could sign off on financial statements that are prepared by a professional accountant for the future as soon as possible. That you have to consider Arkansas municipal accounting laws that finds non-compliance by the municipal treasurer triggers a progressive series of statutory corrections, fund withholdings, restricting duties rather than immediate personal fines. So state enforces compliance through structured systems of checks, anything like the purpose of legislative audit. Are you going to wait until the end of the year for these problems to be discovered and resolved? It is your prerogative to deal with it sooner rather than later, and as much as possible to pay for a professional accountant by reducing the salary now enjoyed by the recorder treasurer, which would be fair enough considering you would leave said person with the preparation of financial statements, which have been really not well done. And point out, as far as guarding the treasury of the funds of the city, over $10,000 of fines have been enacted by the state so far, state or federal government, for failure to file on time, failure to file these payroll reports. That loss of those the loss of the city's funds in order to pay for these fines is not guarding the treasury.
Lynn Nichols, 102 Swiss Lane. And sitting back here for years, I have never seen a council go through 2 councilmen resigning. And if you look at the reasons is the budget. Plain and simple. And they don't believe the numbers. And that's why they do free enough information. Because nobody trusts the council. Nobody trusts the city. Very simple. I can remember being here at the last meeting of the year saying, we know where our money is, we did our own audit. Do you remember that? Do you remember those words that were spoke to each and every one of us? We know where the money is, there's no problem. Well, guess what? You don't know where the money is. The other thing is, I'm reading that you signed a letter to the poor making hiking and running and mountain biking from Point Return to Dam Side Park. Mr. Mayor, you have a park committee. Could you at least share that letter with us? What you're going to sign?
So you got it, didn't you? I thought,
I don't know.
Harry Partee is on the Parks Committee, isn't he?
No. Hello? That's what I'm saying. You guys have
I'm
got
sorry.
to talk.
Okay, I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? I signed the letter. It's still got to go to the Corps of Engineers.
or, you know,
Don't raise your voice, I know.
I'm not. My voice is this anyway.
Well, that's it.
More citizens comments? We're on a roll. Mayor's comments. That was part of I did sign a letter to the court for making a hiking, running, and mountain bike trail from Point Return to Dam Park through core property along shoreline area. This is through a totally different group than our parks committee. I didn't see anything wrong with it. We have other trails on the other side of the lake, okay? Why can't we bring these people over here and start spending the money over here?
That would be perfectly well.
Next, Red Cross Blood Drive, Wednesday, July 15th, 2026, 12:30 to 4:30 right here at City Hall, Council Chambers. Also, anybody involved in churches, I don't even know how to pronounce these. It's Arkansas Opioid Recovery Partnership. And what they are is they will help churches if they're interested in funding for counseling for opioid abuse, and they will definitely help in that process. So there's a little program for our police department too, if you want to get with me on that piece. I did receive the check from Sam Hastings' office on the Nick Knoppick counter suit. We received the check of $2,600 to help go for the counter suit that he's refiling. So that $2,600 the city did receive, and it's going to go towards the AML. We did receive another letter from the AML on the Phil Freezy versus City of Old Shoals, Arkansas. They are going to be covering 90% of the defense that's been filed against interim Mayor Carol Dusk and Chief Brad Hartley. The municipality of Old Shoals will be responsible for the other 10%. That's all I have. Motion to adjourn. Second. Got a motion, we got a second. All those in favor? Any opposed?